good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 95, I think. Something like that. I lose count of these things, but yes, this is live stream number something, and for this particular stream, we are... you guys get to choose my set list. If you look in the description, or I've also posted in the chat, you can scroll back up to the top. You can see a list of my songs, and whichever song you would like me to play, go ahead and pick it, and I will play that song just for you. Along with that, you might say, hey, I don't know some of these songs. Well, just pick whichever title sounds the most interesting to you, and I'll play it for you, and we'll find out if you like it or not. Along with this, let me just say that this is also a Q&A. So, if you got any questions or just anything you're curious about, ask away, and I'll do my best to answer them. They can be music-related, or they could just be about something else, about movies or video games or, fun activities or, whatever it might be. And it's all right. So, all right, let's catch up with the chat. Stanley was saying, wow, ocean vibes, dig it. That wasn't the ocean. That was my preamp making noise, and I think I stopped it. So, unless you're talking about, okay, actually, you might be talking about my outfit. But thank you, appreciate that, Stan. Yeah, I had some fuzz going on. That was my preamp, but should be sounding crystal clear now. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We do have our first request from Stan. Stan, always good to see you in the chat. He requested the song Ascension, so I'm going to kick things off with that in just a moment. But Stan was commenting, love the background music while we wait, different tidbits of your songs, awesome. And yeah, I'm glad you like that. I always thought that'd be kind of nice. I'm always looking for just little ways to just make little improvements, and, hopefully like a few months from now, these streams will be, just much better quality, and I'm always striving to improve and make them better. And so, yep, thanks, Stan says the lights too. Stan's been following me since pretty much the beginning, and so he has seen kind of some of the change. There's been a little change to the set design, trying to get more lights. I've been trying to dress up a little bit more for these things, and for the opening, just kind of having some background music, kind of some lobby waiting music, just to kind of set the mood while you guys are waiting for the show to start. So, Stan, I always appreciate you. If you guys ever have any suggestions of what you would like to see, what you would enjoy, what you think would help improve these streams, I don't mind hearing that. Definitely share those suggestions, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying my best to just kind of improve these as I go along, and see where we go from there. So anyway, let me go ahead and kick things off with this first song. So Stan has requested Ascension. So this is an instrumental track of mine. I released this quite some time ago. This was one of my my earlier solo releases. So I'll go ahead and kick things off with this. But while I'm playing, don't be shy, say hello, and if you've got any questions, just let me know. Just ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer that. And anyone else tuning in, if you've got a request, just let me know. Again, the song list, you can find it in the description on YouTube, or you can just scroll back up to the top of the chat, and you should be able to see the song list there. So, all right, here we go. This one's for you, Stan. This is called Ascension. Thank you. That song was called Ascension, and I have released that one. You can find that on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. So that was a suggestion from Stan. Stan, thank you for the suggestion. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I think I saw Jack show up. Unless my eyes deceive me. So, and as you can see, I'm wearing my glasses today. So. All right, let's see here. Catching up with the chat. Yep, we got Jack. Jack, always good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Hope you've had a good week. How's your week been, Jack? Stan goes for you, too. How have you been? Let's see. Catching up, Jack says, good evening, Quincy. And chat, sorry I'm late. Hey, you're not late. You're one of the first ones here. So I'd say you're doing pretty good. You know, sometimes it's good to be a little fashionably late, you know. So, all right. Stanley says, nice. Some applause from Jack. Appreciate that. And then some chat between Jack and Stan. Cool. Yep, thank you for the applause, guys. Appreciate that. So, Jack, to get you caught up, and anyone else who's tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. But for this evening's stream, you guys get to pick my set list. And so you can find on YouTube, there's in the description, you'll see a list of my songs, and whichever song of mine you'd like me to play, just go ahead and select it, and I will play that song just for you. If you're on Twitch, you may just have to scroll back up. If you scroll back to the top of the chat, you should see a list of the songs there. Let's see. Now, one other thing, I'll get your guys' opinion on this. This is something new I'm kind of trying, but I was thinking of setting this timer. So you guys should see in the corner there where it says next song in 15 minutes, and it's counting down. And I figured, I don't know if I'll only use it for these segments or later, but I know usually we like to kind of chat in between songs and stuff, but I thought a timer would be kind of a nice way to sort of set up like, oh, hey, you know, we're going to play another song, and basically, you know, you guys, you got 15 minutes to make a request. So if you make a request, I'll play the song next. If someone doesn't make a request, then I'll just kind of pick one to play in the next 15 minutes. But I don't know. You guys, you know, that's something I thought might be a useful tool. I'm not sure. You guys might have to let me know. Jack says, yep, I'm here. Did Niagara Falls yesterday. Was good despite the rain. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'd like to hear about that. How was the trip? I'm glad to hear that it was good despite having some rain, which I don't know how close you got to Niagara Falls. I don't know if you were above or if you did get to take, I think you can take like a ferry and it'll take you like right into the falls, like where you're surrounded. And so if you're doing that, you know, you're going to get wet anyway. So I don't think a little rain is going to stop that. But yes, I'm excited for you, or I was happy for you that you got to take that trip. And so I'd love to hear about that. Let me know how your trip to Niagara Falls was. You know, get me up to speed on that. One other thing I will say, so keep in mind, yes, you guys can request songs. This is also a Q&A, and it might actually be good if you guys have some questions today, because I am getting over some cold. You might even hear it in my voice a little bit. I've got a little bit of some nasal stuff going on. I think I'll be okay. I feel all right. Earlier this week, I was having some sore throat, and I was kind of concerned, like, oh no, you know, if I'm getting sore throat, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sing during the stream, you know. But the sore throat has kind of gone away, and it's sort of moved up to my nose. so I've just kind of haven't been dealing with some runny nose and stuff. Energy-wise, you know, I feel okay, but you know, I hate being sick. So I've been eating lots of fruits and veggies, and you know, getting my heart rate up. You know, doing some exercise and just trying to sweat it out a little bit. Taking lots of, you know, supplements and just anything I can to combat this. Like, I hate being sick, so I try to kill it as quickly as I can. I don't have time to be sick, you know. So with that said, you know, just take that with a grain of salt. You know, I will try my best to sing, and I think I'll be okay. I haven't actually sang. I've done a little bit of singing, like I've warmed up my voice today, but haven't actually sang a song today. So. Yeah, not sure how I'm going to perform. We'll all find out together. But yeah, if you know, my question for Jack, you know, is how his trip to Niagara Falls went. But if any of you have a question for me, just let me know. I know there were a few questions asked at the last segment, and I didn't get a chance to answer them, but I wrote them down, and so I may share those if the people who asked the questions show up. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But other than that, Jack went to Niagara Falls. Stan, how has your week been? Let me know what you've been up to. I could say for myself, I am. Let's see. I'm continuing to work on this song, this new song, and as soon as I can get the words figured out, I think I can finish the song, and it won't be ready to release yet. That's going to take some time. But once the song's done, I can at least record like a quick demo and have a new song to perform for you guys. So I'm really excited about that. Can't wait. But the trickiest thing is with songwriting. It's hard to do it like. It's easier to do it spontaneously, like when you're just kind of like picking up the guitar and you kind of, something inspires you to write a song and you just kind of sit down and you start writing the music and the words. That's when it's easiest. But when you kind of have like an idea that's been sitting on the shelf for a bit and now it's like, and you have to finish it, you're just kind of like, okay, I need a new song. Let me grab this idea. And you kind of work on the music and it's like, all right, now I need words. What do I feel like singing about? That's kind of been tricky. And the one thing I've learned lately was that, or not even lately, I've kind of known this, but just the older I get, just the more I appreciate it. But lyrics are so important, and I don't want to, I don't want lyrics to be an afterthought. I don't want to just kind of write something that works. I want to try to say something meaningful with my lyrics. And so that's been the hardest part so far, is just kind of figuring out like, what do I want this song to be about? Like what's been on my mind lately? What do I have to say? And what does the song sound like it could be about, because it's got to match with the tone of the music. And so I've been working on that, and I'm like little by little I'm chipping away at it and starting to figure it out. But it's a lot easier to write a song when you know what you want to say. Because I can say I've written songs before where I had something on my mind, something on my heart that I just wanted to say, and it's almost like the words write themselves because you already know what you're saying and you kind of know what you're looking for, like what phrases and what terminology you're kind of looking for. Whereas when you have no clue what you want to sing about, you just, it's overwhelming you because you could do anything. You have to limit things. You have to narrow it down to a specific idea of, like what do you have to say? What are you trying to say? And that just really helps. It sounds like such a simple thing, but it can be tricky, So I've been kind of battling with that lately, but hopefully I'll be, it's like as soon as I can get those lyrics done, I can just, produce it and finish the rest of the song. So, that's right. Stan went to Niagara Falls as well, and I believe he had a good visit. He went with our church. They went on a trip. My mom and dad and my brother were on that trip, and my nephew was on that trip as well. So, and I think they all had a good time. Jack says, it was great. Didn't get to go on the boat or under the falls. Took many pics and a couple of videos of the falls. Went on to Clifton Hill and saw the Wax Museum. Oh, that's kind of cool. And went on the Sky Wheel. Very cool. In the Wax Museum, any particular favorite characters that you saw? I imagine I'm guessing, I haven't been there, but I'm imagining it's probably a lot of historic figures or famous celebrities, probably like Elvis Presley and maybe like who else do I know? Famous rock stars from back in the day, or singers, or whoever it might be. That would be my guess, but I could be way off. It might be a totally another themed wax museum kind of thing. Be curious if there were any particular characters. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And again, we are doing a Q&A. So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But we're also doing, this is where you guys get to pick the set. So whatever song you would like me to play, you can see my list of songs in the description. And or you could just scroll back up to the top of the chat and see my list of songs listed there. And whichever song you would like to play, just simply request it. Just say, hey, I'd like to hear this song, and I will play that song just for you. Now, along with that, let me just say, if there are certain songs of mine that you haven't heard, if you're new, maybe you're not very familiar with my catalog, just pick whichever title sounds most interesting to you. Whichever title kind of sticks out, like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Just pick that song. I'll play it for you, and we'll find out if you like it or not. And if you do, great. If not, well, we had to try. We'll try again. We'll try a different song, see if that happens. So awesome. So yeah, I've been kind of working on that. I'm also looking forward to. I've been trying to get some merchandise made. I'm really excited to bring you guys some merchandise. And I've got a few. It's been a bit of a process. I'm working with someone. I have a partner I've been working with. She helped design my logo, and she's kind of been helping me with my brand and stuff. And so I had a meeting with her this week, and it was great. It was super productive. I just kind of shared with her sort of how my vision has evolved for this brand, and kind of where my headspace has been, and kind of shared her some of the feedback about the merch that we've been developing, and so she's going to help me get that in place. And yeah, just looking forward to, just really excited to get her involved again, and see what we end up making together, and just looking forward to bringing you new stuff. So Stan says, Quincy, I'm doing good. I feel last night went well. I'm learning through your advice. Well, thanks, Stan. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think you're doing great. I can say, I thought music went really good last night. Stan is referring to, we had a revival service at our church last night, and we played music for it. Stan played bass for that. I played drums, and Stan's been doing a really good job, kind of just, taking what I've showed him for other songs and applying it to songs that he hasn't played much before. We'll learn a new song, and rather than me just telling him exactly what to do, he can kind of take what he's learned from other songs, and he's been applying it to songs that he hasn't played before. And he's been doing a really good job with that. I can tell you, Stan, I know for the near the end of the service, I kind of did the unorthodox thing and went up to the altar rather than going to the drum set. And one thing I might just let you know, yes, the bass kind of pairs up with the drums, but for a service like that, if you see me away from the drums, that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to play. You can just play softly and just kind of hold notes out. And if anything, you could actually, if you kind of knew what you were doing, you could kind of play like arpeggios and stuff. You could kind of play bass, but almost add like a little bit of a melody in there, since it would just be you and the keys, and kind of fill in some space. So don't worry about like breaking the rules a little bit when things like that happen. And then when I come back up to play the drums, then you can kind of return to your typical role of bass. But yeah, don't feel like if I'm not at the drum set that means you're not allowed to play. You're totally fine. Jack says about the Wax Museum, it was famous people and characters, but a lot of them were misses. In terms of how they looked, the Gandalf was great, as was the Elver. I think I know what that name is, but I might be pronouncing it wrong. I know who that is, but Pumpkinhead, the Xenomorphs from Alien. Okay, so those were good. Though the Katy Perry, Michael Jackson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt were misses. The Freddy Krueger just looked bad. Yeah, I guess it's like you could probably only identify them from either their outfit or just because the name said that's who they were. But I don't know if you got any pictures of that. It'd be cool to see Gandalf. Yeah, I bet it's cool when it turns out good, and I bet it's kind of creepy when it just isn't. Yeah, when it's a miss, Hey, we got Daniel in the chat. Good evening, Daniel. Hope you're doing well. How's your week been, man? Always appreciate you tuning in. Just so you know, yeah, we're doing. You guys are picking the set list, so I'm trying something out. I don't know if you guys are going to like this or not, but I've got this timer in the corner. I'm explaining for Daniel since he just showed in. It says next song in 2 minutes 30 seconds, and I figured that'd be kind of a nice way to sort of have some chat, and then it's like, all right, let's go back into another song. And so if any of you would like to request a song before the timer's up, just whatever you request, I'll play that song next. And then if no one requested a song, then I would just kind of pick something to play. But along with that, we're also doing a Q&A. So if you've got any questions or any topics you want to dig into that you're kind of curious about, just let me know. I am dealing with a little bit of cold, so it would be nice if you guys had plenty of questions to dive into, because I'm not totally sure how my singing is going to be, but we'll see. Yep. Daniel, well, thanks for asking, Daniel. He says, it's been great. Did your cold get better? I don't know if you can hear. Maybe it's not too noticeable, but earlier in the week, it was more of like a sore throat, and thankfully that seems to be gone, but it's kind of moved up. So I've kind of had just some runny nose stuff. And so far, it's sort of hanging in there. Like, it's not as drippy as it was earlier. So I think I'm okay. But we shall see. I did do some vocal exercises, so I think I can sing, but I haven't actually sang a song yet. So we'll kind of have to figure out how that goes. Yeah. Let's see here. Stanley. So Daniel, just to catch you up, Jack had his trip to Niagara Falls this week, and oh my gosh, Daniel went to see Metallica, right? That's happened, right? I got to hear about that. So, Jack was telling us about his trip to Niagara Falls and the Wax Museum he went to. Stanley was saying Stanley went to Niagara Falls earlier this year, just a few months ago, and said, I didn't do the boat either. Did go into Canada. Okay, yeah, made it over to Canada. Let's see here. Some hellos happening. Jack says, I did take several pictures. I'm sorry you haven't been feeling too well. Well, I appreciate your condolences. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing everything I can. I just don't have time to be sick. So, I've been getting lots of vitamin C, taking lots of supplements, eating lots of vegetables, staying hydrated, just doing everything I can to knock it out pretty quickly. And I am actually feeling better, but, just not quite 100% yet. All right, so our timer's running out, so I think we are going to go into another song in just a moment here. If anyone has a request, let me know, and I will play that just for you. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like we have a couple of requests from Jack. Let's see. Yep, Jack says, I really like Say That It's Over and Erase Myself. Those would be my picks. Well, great. Yeah, we'll start with one of those. And Jack says he'll share the pics if he can. I don't know if, it'd be cool if you could post pictures in the chat. I'm not sure that you can. But if there's other social media or something, I don't know if you're on Instagram or something like that. Yeah, if you post the pictures there or Facebook or something, then yeah, maybe I could check those out. And and Stanley made the comment, Say That It's Over instrumental. That is a possibility. If I can't quite sing, then I may have to do instrumental versions of all these songs. But I think I'll be okay. I think I can do Say That It's Over. I'm going to try that one next. Daniel says, yes, I did see Metallica. What an amazing show. They played two of my favorite songs. It was great to see them 2 nights. Now, by 2, do you mean you went twice? There were 2 different nights that you got to see him play? Because that is sick. That is sweet. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and play a song, but Daniel, I would love to hear about that. Just tell me all about seeing Metallica. What were the highlights? Your favorite parts. Any key moments, any funny moments. Yeah. Tell me all about it, man. I'd love to hear about it. So, we have a request. And Daniel suggests Ascension. I can play that one for you, but I will say that that's actually what Stanley requested first, and I did play that one for him. But if you'd like to hear that one, I will play it again just for you. But right now, I'm going to go with Jack's request for Say That It's Over. Let's give that one a shot, see what happens. All right, here we go. This one is Say That It's Over. Let me get my timeline set up. And I have released this song, so you can find it on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. This one goes out to you, Jack. This is Say That It's Over. lying, so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to hell. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in. You have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? And I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please will you let me back inside? Whew, try to hang in there. There you go. That was Jack's suggestions. Say that it's over. And again, I have released that song, so you can find it on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. Hopefully, that was enjoyable to listen to. I felt okay at first, but as it went on and as I got to the higher notes, it was like I was kind of losing my stamina a little bit. But so definitely a little bit of a challenge. But we'll see what happens. So hanging in there. Let's catch up with the chat, and I'm going to try to do a lot of talking, but I'm going to try to stay hydrated too, so let me make sure I'm drinking some water. All right. Yeah, give me just a second here. Looking for, where's it at? Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, just a couple songs. Here they are. Yep. Forgot to post this one. So, yeah, earlier Stan had requested Ascension, so there is the link for that one if you guys would like to hear it again. And then that was Say That It's Over. That was requested by Jack, and here is the link for that one. All right. Catching up with the chat here. Let's see. Sorry, trying to catch up. Stanley says, I can hear the words. I'm guessing that's when he was saying to play the instrumental version, and then he can kind of still hear the words in his mind. Jack says, yeah, that would be cool. Don't overdo it, Quincy. I don't want you to feel worse. Like I said, energy-wise, I feel okay. I don't know. I feel okay, but I could definitely tell like it's harder to sing than usual. So that's the one thing I always notice is like whenever I get over a cold, I always feel like I'm like, wow, I can sing so much better. I feel like such a better singer. It's because it does kind of restrict you. I think the biggest restriction right now is it's kind of blocking my nasal cavity, I guess. And so I feel like those higher notes I can't quite go into that what's the word I'm looking for? What's it called? That register or whatever, So yeah, we'll see. Yep, Stanley is saying, wow, man, Metallica, man, would love to see them live. Yes, Stan, yep, I bet would really enjoy that. Daniel says, yes, they played Friday and Sunday, spent 3 days in Dallas. Okay. Saturday went to Guitar Center because my friend was inspired to buy a guitar after the first show. That's cool. What kind of guitar did he get? What did he end up going with? Let's see here. Daniel says, you don't have to play Ascension again. I'm just trying to make it easy on your voice. Yep. The only other instrumental that I have that I've released is Hard Goodbyes. But worst case scenario, I might just have to do instrumental versions of some of the other songs. But I appreciate y'all's consideration. I'll be honest. If it's like, yep, it's not happening, guys, I can't sing. I'll let y'all know. But so far, all right. Let's see. Jack says the trip was great, but I think you need more than a single day to enjoy Niagara Falls. I really wanted to go under the falls through that tunnel. Maybe next time. Well, definitely. Definitely treat yourself and see if you can go on that trip again. Again, like I said, when my parents went, I think they were away for a few days, and it sounds like it was a very well planned trip, and they really got just quite the experience. They were able to do a lot in that time. So at least you got like a little sample. And then so if you ever went again, you could kind of plan out what all you wanted to, what your goals were, what all you wanted to do during your time there. Daniel says, I want to say the crowd got louder as they came on. They are a Texas band after all. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I ever knew where Metallica originated from. And so, or at least I hadn't really, looked it up or couldn't remember at least. So that's pretty cool. Jack says, you did outstanding. I'm sorry. I suggested it, though. Nope, you were fine. You suggested two, and I picked the one that I thought would be easier. I'm asking for requests, so definitely nothing to apologize for. Like I said, I'll try it, and then, we'll see what happens. Stanley says, sounds better nasally, like you have been in tears. Yeah. So, yeah, like I'm singing it like I've been crying. Daniel says he ended up buying an Ibanez. I don't know if that's Geo. I'm not sure I've heard of that particular model. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. Ibanez Geo. Oh, that's pretty sweet. What color did he go with? Because I see a few colors here. I see a red one, a green one, and the first two that showed up are really cool. They've kind of one is sort of red. It's almost kind of like mine. It's got kind of that liquidy effect. It's red and then like has a black sort of surrounding. The other one is green, and it's like the same design, same effect, but just green instead of red. And then there's some that are almost, I don't want to say Stratocaster, but they've got like the pick guard on it. One that's all black. I see one that's like a dark charcoal gray with like a black pick guard. I see a black one with a red. I even see a blue one. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, what color did he go with? Hey, we got Adria in the chat. Hey, Adria, hope you're doing well. It says, hello, Quincy. Thanks for the awesome songs. I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Was thinking for you, but only if you are feeling up to it. Well, Adria, for you, I'm willing to try it. I tried one song, and it went okay. It's definitely a little harder to sing. But, I'll try it, and if it's just not happening, then I'll do the instrumental version for you. But we'll see what happens. Adria, how have you been? I hope you've been doing well. I've been catching some of your Instagram clips, or I can't remember if I'm seeing them on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. I lose track of where I see them, but been seeing some of your short clips, and looks like some fun stuff going on with the family, and good to see you still picking up the guitar and playing. And so yeah, let me know how you've been. Let me know what you've been up to. Okay. All right, let me. So Pantera is a Texas band. Was Pantera there as well? Maybe I didn't catch that part. Metallica is from California. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I missed something. You were saying, I want to say the crowd got louder as they came on. They are a Texas band after all, so I don't know if you were talking about Pantera at the time. I might have misread something there, or missed something, but either way, that's still really cool. I bet that was an awesome show. I bet that's quite the adrenaline rush. Now, let me ask you this, Daniel. What is your demeanor when you're at a show like that? Do you like to just stand and listen and maybe bob your head? Do you like to fully rock out? Do you mosh? Do you crash into others? Do you headbang? Do you like to be up front and close? Do you like to be back where you can kind of just see everything? What's your demeanor at a show? I could say for me, I think when I first went, for me, being into a lot of like, metalcore, screamo bands, you definitely see like the mosh pit kind of thing and all that. And I never really moshed, but I would definitely headbang. I remember like coming home from concerts and like my neck would just be sore from headbanging. So I've since learned, like, make sure you do some neck warm-ups before you go to a show. But I guess, I don't know. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but now when I go to a show, like, I like to just stand, just listen, and I don't want the performer to think that I'm not enjoying the music, because it's the opposite. It's like I am enjoying it. I'm trying to listen and just soak it all in. Like for me, it's not about like if I'm headbanging, I feel like I'm focusing more on that, than actually listening to the music. So yeah, when I go to a gig, I'm more of just like a kind of stand there and just kind of head bob, like, yeah, man, digging this, and I'll clap my hands afterwards and stuff. But yeah, but actually that question goes for all of you, not just Daniel, but Adria, Jack, Stanley, if you're ever at a live show, you see live music, what's typically your demeanor? Are you one to fully rock out, or do you like to just kind of take it easy, sit back and enjoy the music, let me know. And maybe I'll ask you guys, what's the best show you've seen live? What's the best band or artist or live show that you've seen? I'd be curious. So Daniel says it was a dark blue guitar. Cool. I don't know if I saw dark blue in my quick search. I did see one blue guitar. Maybe it was that one, but very cool. Looks like Stanley searched the guitar also and said he liked the green. Yeah, I thought the green was pretty cool. Daniel says, you missed something I wrote. First night was Wolfgang Van Halen. Yeah, I must have missed that. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, Wolfgang, super talented. Yeah, I've heard a little bit of his music. Pantera, then Metallica. So second night was Ice Nine Kills, Five Finger Death Punch, then Metallica. Okay, cool. Well, sounds like a pretty great show. A lot of good artists, bands. Yeah, I bet that was awesome, man. Bet that was a lot of fun. I'd be curious, who was your favorite performance besides Metallica? I know Metallica was awesome, but besides them, which of the other artists or the other acts would you say you enjoyed most? Or maybe there was a surprise, like I didn't know much about this band, but they were actually pretty good. Be curious. Adri says, thanks, the fam is great, but my youngest already had a cold the first week of school. It's been extremely hot in Houston. We are all sweating. Yeah, I bet it's hot there, because I'm in Virginia and it's hot here, and so I can't imagine what it feels like in Texas. What was I going to say? Yeah, I remember when I was back in school, especially when I went to high school, because I was actually homeschooled for middle school, and then in high school I went to a private school. I felt like I was sick all the time, you know, and it's probably because you are around people all the time, you know, rather than homeschool where you're just at home. You know, you're finally getting out and being around people. And so I'm sure it's the same thing. You know, you send your kids off to school, and they're interacting. A lot of germs going around. But you know, on the bright side, you know, it'll help build up her immunity system. So yeah, so I hope that goes well. Let's see here. I know a couple of my nieces just started going to school this week, and my nephew, I think, started going to school a couple weeks ago. And so, yeah, it's you know, they're getting older. It's fun. It's that time of year. They're getting into that. Daniel says, mostly I headbang, you know, up the rock on and sing on some of the songs. This was at the AT&T Stadium, and I was way up top. A huge stadium. Yeah, I bet that's huge. One thing I've noticed, I don't know if this happened to you, did you lose your voice, you know, the next day? Because I think sometimes I'll sing, but I don't realize that because it's so loud that I'm actually shouting more than I'm singing or more than I'm using proper technique. And so I almost always, you know, just lose my voice whenever I'm singing at a live show. But it is fun to sing along with the words. Stanley says, Quincy, I normally do the same until I hear one I know. Then it's game on. Yeah. Yep. You know, if it's a new artist, you're not super familiar, you just kind of sit back and listen and enjoy. But if it's a song you know, it's like, all right, here we go, you know. Now, I will say, you know, I played one live show last year. There was some of you guys know I like to skateboard, and I have some connections with the skate community in my local town, and there's a fairly nearby, I guess, town or you know, area that has a skate park, and they have an event there, and they have live music, and they have, you know, contests and that kind of thing, and food. And I actually, you know, through some connections, I got the opportunity to play there. Some of you might have seen it. I've posted some clips from my live show. And yeah, went up and played that live show, and it turned out good. It was fun. It was my first one. Definitely, you know, definitely nerve-wracking. You know, and there were some things I wish I could have done a little bit better. But all in all, you know, I was glad I did it. It came out well. But I had a friend there who came over to kind of listen to my music. He was busy doing other things, but he came over to listen to a few songs. And there was kind of I was playing the song "Brothers to the End" and got to that breakdown section, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he started rocking out. And I will say, from my perspective, like when you're on stage and you got people in the audience rocking out, it is quite the confidence booster, you know. It kind of, because you see that they're enjoying the music, and it just kind of like, it's this energy that you share with each other. You see that they're enjoying it, and then that makes you, you know, feel more, enjoy playing it and want to give them more, you know. It's like, all right, they're enjoying this, I want to give them more of this, you know, and stuff. So So just that, he was just one guy just doing it on his own, and just the one guy doing it, and that was enough. So I can't imagine like playing in front of a stadium, and just having like an actual, you know, pit of people just like rocking out. It's got to be incredibly, you know, adrenaline rushing. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and play another song in just a moment. Let me catch up with we're having some good conversation here, so I definitely don't want to pull away from that. But let's see here. Yeah, Adria says, my favorite spot at a concert is right in the front. Yep, right on the stage, you know. Best performance is probably my first rock concert, go figure. It was the band live in 1995 at Oregon State Fair. Now, if you mean the band live, then I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I'm familiar with too much of their discography, but I remember they did a song for The Mummy, that Forever, like Forever May Not Be Long Enough or something. I love that song. But that's really cool. And that's awesome. That's awesome that, yeah, it was just, that first live show can be such a experience. Because even for me, I remember the first live show I went to see. There's a group called Third Day. And they're pretty good. They're not like they're not a rock band. They're kind of more of like a, contemporary. They're Christian artists, and so they're not really an artist I listen to much, but they were like in our backyard. They came to a venue in my town, and somehow through family or friends, I had the opportunity to go. I can't remember how long ago this was. This was like maybe back in early high school, maybe before high school, something like that. I was pretty young. But I remember going to the show, and even though they're not really, they have a few songs I like, but they just weren't, they're not an artist that I listen to often. But even though I wasn't really all that into them, seeing them live, they were really good, and there was just an energy. It was like, and I enjoyed it. It was like, wow, they're really good. And that kind of helped me realize, like, there is this energy from a live performance. Like, even if it's an artist that, you might not be, like, super into, you're probably still going to enjoy their performance on stage just because there's such an energy when you got, like, a live band and you've got the loudspeakers and the audience around you. And so I remember after that, I was like, man, if I enjoyed a band like that, if I enjoyed it that much, how much more am I going to enjoy going to see like a band that I actually like, And sure enough, that is the case. When you go to see an artist that you like, I think I haven't been to a whole lot of live shows, but the ones that I've chosen to go to, very, very rarely have I been disappointed. It's almost always been a good show. And usually if I am disappointed, it's because like the stage mix isn't that good or something. So it's not even like the band. It's just like, it's like, man, the mix, when the mix kind of just sounds like noise, and and you're not really able to hear and like appreciate the music, So it just kind of depends. Which I'm kind of curious, Daniel, did you have any thoughts on the mix in a huge stadium like that? I would think with big bands like that, I would think that the mix is like awesome. Like it had to just sound great. Would be my thought. But yeah, I'd be curious about that. Daniel says, definitely Pantera was second best. Yeah, I bet that was pretty good. Seeing Zach Wilde was awesome. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that he played with them, right? Or like kind of filled in or something. And Saturday, free day, we went to Dimebag Darrell's and Vinny's grave site. It was a touching moment. That had to be pretty neat to kind of, go and see that and kind of pay some respects there. Stanley says, I'm in it to win it. Yep. Good to know. And Daniel confirms, yep, lost my voice a bit, I'm sure. Yep, that's how it goes. I always try to remember, and I always forget. I get too excited in a live show, end up losing my voice. Stanley says, I was there. It was epic. Trying to think which, I wonder, where were you at? Because I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you talking about the third day concert that I was talking about, or are you talking about something else? Was it the same concert Adria went to, or Niagara Falls, or something else? Not sure what you're referring to there. And that's my bad. I've been talking, so I'm behind on the chat. Jack says, I go pretty easy. Anxiety can get pretty bad, so outside of outdoor concerts at festivals, I've never been to a concert. It's... I know some people who are like, love it. They just go to shows all the time. Me, I'm pretty particular with like just a few, if there's a few artists that I really like, and they're not too far off, it's like, I'll try to, make an effort to go see them and stuff. But, I've had friends who it just seems like anytime there was a show, they go. I've been to a few, but I've never been like to too many. But I could see that, especially like an indoor venue, kind of lots of people crowded around. I remember I went to one gig with some friends. It was in a skate park, which was really cool. It was an indoor skate park. And we had some girls in our group. And so kind of to protect them, we sort of circled around them and so that no one would kind of bump into them or mosh them. And I think at one point we ended up sitting on top of one of the ramps. So we kind of got up sort of away from the crowd. So, yep. Daniel says, I'm definitely not a mosher. I'm there for hearing the music and seeing the musicians. That's kind of how I would say it. Stanley says, yes, could not say it better. Yep. Adri says, that's so cool. Okay, we got a request for Let's Start Again from Daniel. Adri says, Third Day used to be more of a rock band back in the day. I think you could call them like alternative rock or light rock. I think compared to what I listen to, they're definitely a much lighter band, softer band. But I guess you're right. They are still kind of a rock band, but just kind of a lighter rock style. Light rock might have been the best way to prefer it to. Let's see. Gotta go country on you, Ronnie Millsap. So if that was like saying what was the best artist, maybe that's what it was. Oh, Skate Nelson. Okay, I got you. That's right. I was there. It was epic. Thanks, Stan. Yeah, that's kind of you. He was saying it when he was at my show in Skate Nelson. Yeah, I appreciate you being there, Stan. Daniel says, as far as the mix, Wolfgang didn't sound that great, and I wasn't really impressed with his music. He is a great singer, though. Pantera sounded great, and if you ever get a chance to see Metallica, the live sound is really good. James uses different types of mics that really project his voice, and you could hear Kirk's guitar really good. Yeah, I bet that sounded sweet, man. Yeah, but that was great. Awesome. All right, let me check. I know we got Let's Start Again from Daniel. I'm trying to see if there were any other requests. Jack had requested Erase Myself earlier, but since I just did a song for Jack, all right, cool. Yeah, I think that's good. I don't think I'm missing any other. If there's any other requests, go ahead and just maybe retype them. But let me go ahead. I'm going to play Let's Start Again for Daniel. But while I'm playing this, if anyone else has a song that they would like to request, you can find it in the description on YouTube. If you look in the description, there's a song list of which songs you can pick. And even if you haven't heard the song, if there's just a song title that sounds kind of interesting to you, go ahead and pick the title, and we can find out together if you like the song or not. What else? Also, this is a Q&A, so if you got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Hey, Ray, we got Ray Pierce in the chat. Hey, Ray, appreciate you tuning in. I'm just about to play a song, but if you'd like to make a request, you can find the song list in the description on YouTube, or you can scroll back up to the top. I might even post the song list again in a moment here. And if anyone's got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, kind of dealing with some cold, so we'll see how things go. I'm going to try my best to sing, and we'll see what happens. But so might want to lean. Wow, I got hooked by my mic stand. So we might have to see how go heavier into the Q&A segment. But all right, let me get things set up real quick. And Ray, I'd be curious, how's your week been? I know I spoke I spoke with you briefly during Dom's stream the other night, and I hope you're doing well. It's always kind of fun. It's been fun kind of getting to know everyone in that community, and getting to see you guys just kind of hop around like other streams and just kind of see familiar usernames. So yeah, I hope you've had a good week. Gonna drink a little bit of water. Usually, water is definitely a good thing, but I do so much talking on these streams that I usually don't get to take a water break. But since I'm dealing with some cold, I'm like, let me get some water. This is your friendly reminder. Stay hydrated out there, guys. It's hot, So H2O, it's good for you. Drink lots of water. All right, I got a capo for this one. All right, some of you, yeah. And let me make sure I can get this solo right. I don't want to mess up the solo for you, so. All right, I think we're good. I think I got all the pieces. Yeah, so this is a song. This is I released this song years ago. I don't think it's still available. You can't find this on Spotify or anything. You might be able to find it on my YouTube channel. But you know, when I was first kind of learning to record and kind of dabbling in music, I wasn't really sure what style I wanted to do. I just, you know, recording was just fun. Just whatever I felt like making, I just made it. And so, you know, I just love a lot of different styles of music, especially kind of in rock and metal and that kind of thing. So, so this song is kind of more of like an alternative rock song, kind of maybe a little punkish kind of thing. But this is kind of a special one for me and Daniel, and so I keep it on the list because anytime Daniel wants to hear it, you know, this is kind of my song for him. So Daniel, this one goes out to you. This is Let's Start Again. Back just one more time and try to figure out the reason why. Do you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside your head. You could run away, or you could talk to me instead. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend, and I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. Do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's take it back just one more time and try to figure out the reason why you could feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside. You could run away, or you could talk to me instead. Got the words mixed up. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend, and I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. Do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. Do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Thank you. Again, that one's called Let's Start Again. That was Daniel's request. Thanks for the request, Daniel. I think I did all right. The chorus was a little tough. For anyone who just tuning in, I'm kind of dealing with some cold, so my vocals might be a little rough today. That chorus, it's not that it's high. It's just that you stay high for such a long time. It's a lot of words there. So you're kind of like, all right, let's get through this chorus. And then I remember the last time I played this, I totally bombed it. So I did better this time, but I need to make a mental note. Like whenever I do these requests, I need to practice this song because I don't play it too much. And then whenever Daniel requests it, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to remember how this song goes. And I always get the words mixed up. But hopefully it was still enjoyable. But thanks for the request. Anyone else who would like to pick a song? Again, we are picking songs for this evening's stream, and it's a Q&A, so you can find all my songs in the description on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch, you can just scroll back up to the top and see the list of songs there. Or if you've got a question, this is a Q&A. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. It could be music-related. It could be about something else, other interests, movies, video games, just things you're curious about, things you'd like to know, small talk, whatever it might be. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Okay, let's see here. Oh, hey, we got Tiago tuning in. Hey, Tiago. Hope you're enjoying. Asking, can I play System of a Down songs? I can mess around on one for you, but the picking songs, it's original songs that I've written. And so again, the song list is in the description on YouTube, or you can scroll back up to the top. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, seeing. All right. Ray says, I'm doing okay. Better now that the work week is over. Well, that's great. Glad the weekend is here for you. And, definitely enjoy it, man. Take that time to rest. You got to balance these things. You got to balance work, rest, and play. So definitely, get yourself some rest and get yourself some play, man. Find something, whatever it is you enjoy to do, which I'd be curious. I know you from the music community, so I'm, assuming you enjoy music, and part of what you like to do for fun is music related. But Ray, what do you like to do for fun? Are there other activities you enjoy? But definitely be sure to treat yourself. That's the stuff that revitalizes you, re-energizes you for the week ahead. So that's going to get you, feeling better for the next work week to come. Yep. Stan says hydrate. Yep, that's important. And again, Tiago tuning in. Hello all. Can you play? If you're still out there, I used to know like a few like riffs, so I can play those. But again, I don't have like a backing track with them. Stanley says, "Nice man. I know what is coming when you break out the capo." Yep. The song is awesome. Well, I'm glad you like it. The only reason I don't use this too much, but that song was written in standard E, and my guitar is tuned in. It was written in drop D, and my guitar is in drop C, so I have to capo up two to play in the proper key. Let's see here. Jack says, I hope you all can see them if you want. If you're talking about your pictures, I would love to see them. Let me see. I'm not seeing any pictures, if that's what you're referring to. I don't know if you posted pictures in the chat. I'm not sure that YouTube lets you do that, but if you post them somewhere else on social media, I would definitely love to see the Niagara Fall pictures. Adria says, "I love that song." Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Again, I don't think I've released that one, but you might be able to find it on my YouTube somewhere. If you go to my YouTube channel and search "Let's Start Again," I think I've got some kind of video with the audio on it. So if you wanted to hear it again, there's a little story behind the song. I really appreciate it. When I first started doing these live streams, I was kind of just getting started, and it was when I first met Daniel, and he was like, "Hey, could you play Let's Start Again?" And at first I was kind of like, I think at first I told you no. At first I was like, well, that's kind of an old song, and I'm more of a metal artist, kind of doing heavy. It's not really the style that I'm doing, so I appreciate it, but no. And then I was like, wait a second, somebody is asking me to play one of my songs for them. Like, would I say no to that? So I was like, hey, wait a second. I changed my mind. If you show up to the stream, I'll play the song for you. So sure enough, Daniel showed up. I played the song for him, and he's been showing up ever since. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you, Daniel. You're definitely one of my biggest supporters, and I appreciate you so much. And so that song, I will always have that song available to play for you. But and who knows? Maybe I'll have to release it somehow. It is a little different than the style that I typically do. But maybe I'll find kind of a special way to an exclusive release just for Daniel and anyone else who kind of enjoys the song. But see, Stanley says. You don't even know how many people go through this very same thing. Awesome song. If you're referring to the lyrics there, let's see. I guess it is. It is kind of a sort of a little bit of a love spat. Again, I wrote that song a while back, so I'm like, it's been a while since my mind has been on like relationships and stuff. So my headspace when I originally wrote that song was probably a bit different. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like, I think I wrote that song. It's sort of like, will they, won't they, do you like me or not kind of thing. Like you're sending mixed signals. Sometimes it seems like, we get along, and then sometimes it doesn't, and it's kind of frustrating when it's not working out, and but you're still kind of hooked or whatever. So definitely. My romantic life was a little more dramatic back in the day, and now it's a lot more dead. Now not as much happens. So let's see here. Ray says, "LOL, that is just sad. My practice jam of Beast of Burden has more views in 2 days than my premium with Mr. Smith has 5 days ago." So let's see, has more views than my premiere with Mr. Smith. Smith has. Yeah, I know Mr. Smith is like super talented. So if you're saying that your practice session has more views than your collaboration with Mr. Smith, and that would be a little strange. And I think that's just the way that live streams go. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, Like, sometimes I'll be like, man, streams are going good. And then, like, the next stream, it's like, just a ghost town. And it's like, man, what happened? Where'd everyone go? And then it just kind of, I don't know, the streams are very dynamic. Sometimes they'll do very well. Sometimes not so much. I do think it's kind of a 2-step forward, 1 step back. Like, what I can say about these streams is, I think it's, you don't want to expect that it's just going to consistently go up. It'll go up, and then it'll go down a little bit, and then it'll go up a little more, and then down. And so, but it's never just going to consistently always improve. It's not like every stream is always going to be better than the last one. It's going to dip a bit. But thankfully, I do think these streams have improved. I've certainly enjoyed getting to know all of you. Seeing more people in the chat, having conversations and stuff. Daniel says, "Good job, Quincy. Thanks. My pleasure. Anytime, Daniel." Adria says, "Great job, Quincy. Appreciate that. Thank you." Ray says, "LOL. Apparently, I'm more interesting in my spare time and playing live than I am when it's a recorded song that much work went into." Yeah, I can relate to that frustration. I know what it's like when you work really hard on something and you post it and it just does not get a lot of traction. And then you post something that you like barely put any effort into. You're just like, it's just kind of like filler stuff. You're just kind of like, oh, I got this, I'll do this. And it just blows up and it's like, what is going on? So I get that, man. I know how it is. And again, it's just not much rhyme or reason to it. That's just the way the internet works for some reason. I've certainly experienced that. Thanks for the applause, Jack. Ray says, "I'm sure that it's it's just more interesting to see how I go about screw-ups when live, whereas when it's recorded, a lot more work goes into it, but y'all already know that. And just more interesting when live. Yep, definitely kind of interesting stuff. Daniel says, "Yeah, I think I first heard of it on Bandcamp." It was on Bandcamp. Now, what's interesting, I still have to check this out. So on my Bandcamp, I went ahead and updated it. Originally, my Bandcamp had all my music on it. You know, any project that I'd done, it had all of it on there. But I've since then kind of refined it, so it's just my Quincy Kane stuff. You know, nothing else. So when I go to Bandcamp, there's this little section that says the following items don't appear in your discography, and it's got other songs that I had released, but I set them to private. And one of those songs is "Let's Start Again." I released it as a single, and I've got it set to private. But I remember Moonlight had tuned into a chat a while back, and she was like requesting all these. She was commenting on all these songs that had disappeared. And I'm like, how is she seeing all these? And so I don't know if you guys can. I thought this stuff was like blind to the public. I thought it was private where only I could see it. But maybe if you go to my Bandcamp, you can scroll down and see the songs that are set to private. I'm not sure. Or maybe she had just seen it on like my old YouTube, you know, like older YouTube videos or something. I'm not totally sure where she was being inspired to bring up those old songs of mine. But it was definitely interesting to hear her like naming titles of songs like, wow, I put that out years ago. You know, it's like, where'd you hear about that? You know? But yeah, originally it was on Bandcamp. And technically it's still on there. It's just set to private, but yeah. Oh, let's see here. Yep, my pleasure, Daniel. Ray says, because I'm really not as good at the live stuff as I'm able to do it on a DAW. You know, live is such an interesting thing because I do know, like from what I've learned about live streaming and what I've kind of researched and people's opinions, I do think live is part of the charm of live is that it's supposed to be a bit more spontaneous and it's supposed to be a bit more raw, you know, not quite as polished. And so I think even the mistakes and stuff, I think sometimes people don't mind that as much because it just makes it more real and it feels like such a exclusive experience, you know, rather than something that was, you know, refined and then put out there and it's the one version that everybody sees. You know, it's kind of something that you get to experience. I think, you know, if I understand correctly, I believe that's probably the charm of live streams. And so, but again, sometimes it's just the day that you post, you know, like sometimes you'll post something that, yeah, for whatever reason, it just does not take off, even though you're like, man, I worked really hard on this. This should blow up. The best thing I can suggest is, you know, maybe just trying to, you know, repost it like a month or so later, try again and see if it does any better on a second time, you know, or something like that, or try to promote it some, you know, maybe make some shorts promoting people to go see it, or on your live stream, you know, say, hey, I recently made this, you know, tell people to go check it out, you know, like when the stream's over, you can say, hey, you know, kind of give them a call to action, tell them like, hey, go check out this thing. So there are ways you can like sort of promote something that you've done, and that might kind of help it get a little more traction. Jack says, you have to copy the links, I guess. Maybe YouTube prevents the links from showing up. They must, yeah. If you're trying to post pictures, I can say I'm not seeing anything show up in the chat. So if you have been posting any like pictures or links or anything, YouTube may not allow you to do that. Now, I know YouTube allows me to post links. It's not often that a viewer post links. And so maybe it's like a protection thing. Maybe YouTube does not allow viewers to post links in the chat. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe that does work. So, but Jack, do you have any kind of social media? Are you on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that? You know, any place that you would post those pictures? If so, yeah, I'll certainly check them out. But let's see here. Jack says, I'll see if I can find a workaround. Ray says, I guess what I'm getting at is a question for the Q&A. Do you feel the same way? You do much more live stuff than I know you do recorded. Well, I can say... Okay, hold on, I'm reading a little bit more. Ray says, it's not actually a live stream, just a recorded version of me practicing a new song. That's kind of interesting. Definitely agree the live streams are better because you have people to chat with. Yeah, that's part of it. Okay, so, yeah, as far as your question, do I feel the same way? You do much more live stuff than I do. Yeah, like I said, It kind of it depends on what you want to do and what you're trying. Oh, sorry, I'm getting tangled up here. Depends on what you want to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Because even in this music community, that all our other kind of musician peers that we're associated with, not all of them necessarily have the same goals. Some of them, it's just completely for fun, and then some of them, like me, are trying to make a career out of it. And it kind of just depends on what you want. I can say for myself, like, I used to be more of a YouTuber, meaning that I would post a video once a week. And I mean, it worked, like I got a lot of views on those videos, but the problem was it took me a while to realize, like, it's not really what I wanted to do. I was making a lot of music-related content, but what I want to do is I want to be a songwriter. I want to write songs and perform them. And so... but it was hard to do that. It just took forever to produce a song, and I felt this pressure, like, well, I got to make some kind of content. So I would make some kind of vlog or tutorial or whatever. I'd post some kind of music-related content while simultaneously working on the next song. But somehow, long story short, eventually I got the idea of doing live streams. Somehow I got the idea, like, well, I could play along with a backing track. And I think originally it was actually with my friend. I had a friend who played drums, and we were going to get some other musicians to have a band, but I didn't want the lack of musicians to be an excuse. And so I realized, okay, well, if we can't find other members, no excuse, let's just play with a backing track. That's a way we can still perform, So that was the plan. But then he kind of got a little busy with some things and had to sort of dismiss himself from the project. And so it ended up being just me. And but, same game plan. It's like, all right, well, if I don't have any musicians to play with, I'll just make a backing track for myself. And once I kind of discovered that, I was like, hey, this is actually really cool. Because I can actually perform these songs, And then live streams were kind of like a nice way to do that. So it took a bit of experimenting, a bit of learning. But once I got live streams going, it was pretty cool. But even still, my original plan, I was looking to getting to live shows. And I was almost actually thinking of stopping these live streams. But after a while, it's just, what I can say is, for myself, like, my biggest supporters and my closest relationships and just like the best success that I've had in my music career so far has come from live streams. So if anything, I'm trying to improve on it. I want to continue to grow it, and I want to continue to bring you guys. I want to bring you bigger and better content, and continue to get to know you guys, and continue to build this audience and this community together. So that's definitely been the cool thing. So I sort of shifted gears, and it took me a while to get over that. But eventually I realized, I think these live streams can be my weekly content rather than having to make a video that I have to post every week. And then I've since then kind of learned, shorts are very popular. TikTok, Instagram Reels, the short form content videos are very popular these days. And I've started to realize, hey, I can start making a bunch of shorts to promote these live streams and to promote the songs that I've released. And I'm still learning how to do that, but it's pretty cool that that's a little simpler to do than, putting all this effort into just one video. And as far as the single videos go, basically I just whenever I have a song done, like I'm working on a song, and once I have a new song released, yes, I will shoot a playthrough video to promote that song, and that's when I'll post that video. So, all I can say is, let's see, all I can say is, whatever you're doing, it kind of just, it depends on what works best for you in your scenario, and and what you want out of music, and you have to stick with it and give it time to grow. That's probably the hardest part. Like with everything I do, that's one thing I've learned, from anything, whether it was making YouTube videos or making shorts or going live. You have to give time a chance to do its thing, because when you first start off, like, to be honest, there's some content I'm making that I'm actually kind of proud of. I'm like, man, that is really good. But it kind of sucks because, like, I'm still building my audience. And so no matter how good it is, if, people probably aren't going to see it at first. And the only way people are going to start noticing is if I keep making good content. If I keep trying to get better with the content that I'm making and just stick with it, So, it's going to take more than one good video. Like, yes, you see it all the time where someone makes one good video and it blows up, it goes viral. But I think for longevity, it takes more than one good video, to really get much traction. You've got to stick with it. You've got to just keep doing it. And I know it sucks. It sucks when you work really hard on something and it doesn't perform as well as you'd hoped, or perform as well as you think it should. Sometimes it's like, man, I thought this was really good. I don't know why people aren't reacting to it or digging it. And I think a big part of that is just because you're still building your audience. And that's the nice thing, is once you do build your audience, people who do connect with what you're doing and the stuff that you make, then you get that better engagement. And keep that in mind. Engagement is really the important thing. It's not so much the number of views. It's the number of people who are actually engaging with what you're doing, the people who actually like what you're doing. Because you could get 1,000 views on a video, but if it's 1,000 people who don't like your music, then it's no good. You'd be better off with just 100 people who all like your music rather than 1,000 people who don't. 100 views of people who love what you're doing is better than 1,000 views of people who don't care. So that's part of it too. It's just kind of giving yourself time to build that audience and to make that consistency of creating content that is going to attract the people who are going to connect with it. So hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that kind of goes. But the main point, I know it's hard, man, but just stick with it. Just keep doing your best, and yep, just give time a chance to do its thing. We got a question from Daniel here. And by the way, I know I kind of spent some time on that. Oh, we got someone from Twitch, the Ancient One. I hope you're still out there. I was kind of talking. Sorry if I didn't quite notice you at first, but thanks for tuning in. We're doing a Q&A, so if you've got a question, it could be music related, it could be something else, it could be if you're just curious about interests or want to dive into a topic, whatever it might be, let me know. And this is also a song, and I think I'm going to play another song in a moment here. So if you look at the top of the chat, you should see a song list. And I know you're probably not familiar with my songs, but just whatever title sounds interesting to you, just say, I'd be curious to hear that. Just let me know, and I'll play the song just for you. And anyone else, whatever song, Stan's heading out. Love you too, Stan. You take care. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. But I do think I'm going to play another song in a moment here. So if anyone has another request, just let me know, and I will play that song next. Daniel asks, do you ever plan on messing around with your amps, cabs, mics, etc. in your simulator, or do you currently like this as your sound? I will say I've been very pleased with the guitar tone I've been able to get, especially since I'm currently using free software. Like it's all stuff that I downloaded. I haven't had to purchase anything. And the truth be told, like, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed learning about engineering and learning about like mixing and, I definitely appreciate like, good guitar tone and that kind of stuff. But at the, for me, I'm kind of a simpleton, part of me is like, once I got something good enough, I'm kind of okay with just leaving well enough alone and working with that. And I can say for my current sound, I will say, I am always striving to make my mixes better, and so like even this next song I'm working on, I will put some effort into that. But most of that, when you're talking about the whole mix, for me, probably my biggest I don't want to say criticism, but some feedback that I've received about my mixes. I think my mixes can be a bit dry. So I'm kind of looking at vocal production and drum production. I'm kind of looking at like creating a good drum room and blending that in so that there's a sense of space to the mix. And vocals, just having that right amount of delay and reverb so that you can still hear the vocals nice and up front in the mix. But again, they've kind of got some width to them. And some wetness, so it's not just this kind of dry and dull, boring mix or anything. So it'll probably be a while till I, have another look at my guitar tone and try to make any tweaks. Right now I'm satisfied with it. I'm pretty pleased with it. But it'll probably be a while before I experiment and try to make any changes to it. Now, what would I do? First off, I will say. new strings have a big thing. So I can say my current tone, like right now, I'm having to make some adjustments to the EQ just to make it a little brighter, a little cleaner. But whenever I put new strings on, it actually sounds pretty good. And also, I do think my guitar tone, I think I can produce it better for a mix. So when I'm playing live, I'm going directly into my interface. But whenever I record my guitar tone for a song that I'm going to release, I actually send my guitar through the preamp first. And I think, either way, it goes through the preamp. And that preamp just gives it a little bit of like drive. It does something that just, I don't know, it just makes the tone sound better, you know? Now, when I'm performing live, I have to use my preamp for the microphone. So I can't send my guitar through the preamp. But when I'm recording a song, I can use that preamp. So actually, my guitar tone, and plus, you know, I don't want there to be any lag or anything, you know, like when I'm performing for these live performances, I've got a bunch of plugins, and I think depending on what type of plugin you're using or how many you're using, it can kind of cause some delay, you know, where I'll pick and then the sound, you know, won't be like right in sync. And obviously, if I'm trying to stay on time, I need as little delay as possible. And so I do have to make some compromises with my tone. I kind of have to pick like the key most important parts of my guitar tone that work. And then just do the best I can with that. So I will say, yeah, my produced tone, like for when I release a song, that guitar tone sounds a lot better than the guitar tone that I have to use for these live streams. Now, again, maybe at some point in the future, maybe I'll be able to improve that. I probably would get some kind of cab. If I were to buy something, it would probably be some kind of cab set, like a good like Mesa plugin. I'm trying to think. It might be GGD. I think that's the brand. It's something related to Periphery, but they've got like some really good sounding guitar cab sims, and that tends to be, in my experience, the cab is probably the biggest influence on the tone. And since I'm already pretty impressed with the tone that I can get, probably buying like a good quality cabinet sim, I imagine that might take it even further, you know. But we'll see, you know. Maybe someday. Ray says, yeah, good idea. I was doing a few shorts to promote new songs, but haven't in a while. Yep, that stuff can be pretty helpful. Ray says, it sounds like he's kind of answering the question too, from Daniel, not directed at me, but my answer to that question is I have 3 effects I use, and that is my sound now. When you hear that tone effect, people know it's me. And I do think that's kind of cool. I do think that there is some kind of something personal, like when you sort of craft your own tone, it's kind of like, yeah, that's my sound, that's my tone. And I can say the tone that I've made, I definitely draw influence. You know, my 2 main influences are NYXL, particularly their guitar tone from their 2013 album, self-titled NYXL, and then Periphery guitar tone from the song Remain Indoors. And so now, does my guitar tone sound exactly like those tones? No, but it's kind of in the ballpark. It's got similar characteristics, and so I do kind of like that. I do kind of like that, you know, that it is sort of a tone that's unique to me. There is something kind of cool about that. And Daniel says, that's pretty cool. I believe I'm the same way. There's this tone I use, and it requires a Soldano, SLO 100 and Marshall JCM 800 lead. And those 2 combined are my sound. Yeah, I do think that's pretty cool how you can kind of find what you like, and you combine them and sort of create this sort of unique sound of your own. And so, yeah, that's pretty sweet. Ray says, as cheesy as it may be or sound, I use no amps or effects. I now use Rocksmith, not so much as a game anymore, but that is my amp and effects. So Daniel's asking, what is Rocksmith? And Ray kind of answers that. Yeah. But for anyone who doesn't know, yeah, Ray answers. Rocksmith is kind of like Guitar Hero game-wise, but uses real guitar instead of a controller. It has pretty much any effects tone you could come up with. So yeah, it's kind of a plug and play with your guitar, So it's pretty cool technology, and I wouldn't say that's cheesy. I would just say that's efficient. It's like that is a way to get an effect. So that's cool, man. Jack says, Quincy, I gotta go, but thanks so much for the stream. Really hope you feel tip-top as soon as possible. I appreciate that. I'll figure out a way to share the pics I took in the Wax Museum. Thanks, Jack. Jack, always appreciate you tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and thank you for the the wishes. I don't know. Thanks for, thank you. Just thanks for being there. Thanks for being kind. I appreciate you, man. Okay. Daniel asks, when's the last time you changed your strings, Quincy? So I try to be efficient with my strings. So whenever I'm recording a song, that's whenever I change them, and then I'll just kind of play them out. And I'm trying to record my songs sooner. I think I overestimated a little bit what I was capable of. I was hoping that I could produce a song every 6 weeks. And that's pretty good. If I changed my strings, once every 6 weeks, I'd say that's pretty manageable. That's pretty good. But so far it's taken me longer than that. Now I still have a goal to do that. I still have a goal to produce my songs faster and to get better and to speed up the process. So once I can speed up that process, then yes, that will speed up the how often I change my strings. But I always change them whenever I'm recording a new song. But I don't like to let anything go to waste. So I will play the heck out of those strings, before I change them. Ray says, I do also have a Guitar Rig 5, although never use it. My influence for my tone is pretty much directly from Pink Floyd's tone, 2 distorted tones and 1 clean. But once I created my tones, they actually became my tone. Yeah, I think that's kind of how it starts, even though the tones are influenced from Pink Floyd. Kind of like I was saying for me in Extol and Periphery, I think you draw influence from somewhere, but you kind of just have to use the tools that you have and do the best you can. And so in that process, you sort of end up creating something unique to you, sort of what becomes your tone. So there we go. Anyone out there who's just tuning in, who's joining us, don't be shy, say hello. And I do think, I think I'm going to play another song for you guys. So if anyone has a request, please go ahead and make it. Now, as far as requests go, you can find my songs in the description on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch, you can scroll up to the top. I'll even post, I will post it again. So just a moment here. Whoops. So I'm going to post the song list in the chat, so if anyone is wanting to see what songs there are, here they are. These are original songs of mine. Now, if you aren't familiar with my discography, you don't know my songs, no worries. Just kind of have a look at the titles, and whichever title sounds kind of interesting to you, go ahead and pick it, and I'll do my best to play it just for you. Ray says, I've had my Schecter 7-string for 6 years now and just changed the strings the first time 2 weeks ago to a new set of Cobalt strings. I would say, how long was it? I would say 6 years is maybe a little long, I'm trying to think. It kind of depends on the strings. I don't know. I think maybe 2 months. 2 months is probably pretty good. Like, I think 2 months you can get your use out of them. And, that's probably when they're going to start to lose some of that brightness. I mean, truth be told, depending how often you play, they're probably going to lose some of that brightness, that initial, like that fresh new string sound. You're probably going to lose that in the first 2 weeks. But they'll still sound, okay, just they're not going to be quite as smacky. And then probably, the next month, they'll probably just gradually get more and more dull. And, at some point, it'd be nice to change them. But yeah, if anyone's got a song request, just let me know, and I'll play a song just for you. If anyone has a question, you can ask as well, and I'll do my best to answer. So we'll see what happens here. Again, dealing with anyone who's just tuning in, I'm dealing with a little bit of cold, but so far I've managed to survive through the song, so I think we're okay. Adria says, interesting. I changed mine after a year. I didn't believe the difference. Guess I need to change them sooner. Yeah, it is like, again, you have to remember, like, when you're playing them, they are gradually getting more and more dull. So you probably don't notice how much they're changing. And so then when you do change it, it's, you know, instantaneous. It's not like it gradually gets better. It instantly gets better when you change it. So it's like, wow, these have so much brightness and punch to them, you know. So yeah, definitely good to change them a bit more frequently. Like I said, you know, it depends how often you play. And in my opinion, it depends on what you're playing for. So like for me, you know, obviously I'm playing, you know, I'm playing for an audience. I'm recording music, so I probably do need to change my strings a bit sooner. If you just play for fun or for casual, you know, you're not playing for anyone, then, you know, you can play them as long as you want. They're still going to work, and you know, you can just play them until you feel like you have a need. Like if you have an opportunity to play in front of somebody, or you know, for a show or something, or you're going to get to record, or your strings are just starting to feel kind of nasty and you're just ready to change them, you know, you can kind of just do them at your convenience. But definitely, yeah, if you're going to be recording a lot, I mean, again, I like to, you know, I prefer to change them every time I record. Yeah, so that's kind of my plan is to try to record more frequently so that I can then change my strings more frequently. Hey, we got Chad in the chat. How you doing, Chad? Hope you are doing well. I think I'm going to play another song in a moment here. So, Chad, I don't know if you've got a song that you'd like to request, but yeah, let me know. If you scroll up a little bit, I did post my song list, or if you're watching on YouTube, which it looks like you are, you can just look in the description and see my list of songs. And yeah, feel free to pick one out, and I'll play it just for you. If there's a song you haven't heard, you know, don't worry. Just, you know, whatever title sounds kind of interesting. Just pick whatever sounds interesting. I'll play it for you, and we'll find out if you like it. Let's see here. Daniel says, I didn't like the Cobalts that much. There seemed too much high end for me. I always use Ernie balls, extra slinky. That's kind of interesting. I'll have to try Ernie balls sometime, but I've always been kind of a D'Addario guy. I use D'Addario, and I've been pretty pleased with the sound I can get out of them. And they seem to have some pretty good longevity to them. I think a lot of the artists I listen to use D'Addario, so that's kind of why I go with them. I mean, that I think that's kind of the main thing there is just where was I going with this? Yeah, you know, like whatever sound you would like to get, you know, just look up the sound, you know, the artist that you like and see what strings they use, and that's probably going to have a big influence. Sumo Pockets, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. So I will say, man, I don't know if there's a way I can, you know, better phrase this, but I do say when I say pick a song, I am talking about my original songs. So I've got a list of songs that you can find in the chat, or if you scroll up a little bit, you can see I did post the song list in the chat just recently. Or again, in the description on YouTube, you can see my song list there. So yeah, I wish I could just pull out whatever song and play it for you, but unfortunately, I can only play originals for you. And maybe I just need to put that, you know, maybe I need to put originals in the title or something like that. Because I do get people kind of showing up and then they'll request songs, and it's like, sorry, I don't know how to play that one. So, but I do appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Sumo, how's your week been? I hope things have been good, but what's something fun or exciting that's happened this week, or is there anything you're looking forward to this weekend? Would love to hear about that. Let's see. Oh, the sound of the new Cobalt ones are so much brighter. The old 6-year-old ones were still doing good for the heavier stuff, metal, etc. You don't record much then. If you're talking about, I only need to record once for, you know, a song to produce it. And it kind of depends. Like right now, I'm doing singles. And so when I record, yeah, you know, it's 1 week for recording. And then after that, it's going to be, you know, a couple weeks for mixing the song, for shooting a video for the song, for releasing the song, coming up with promoting the song. You know, there's a lot of other things besides just recording the song. And then after that, you know, then I have to write the next song that I want to record. And then once that song is ready to be recorded, once I'm ready to lay down the actual track, then I'll record. So actually I record a lot, but as far as like the actual the final recording or the recording that's going to go on the release, that's a bit more specific. There's a lot of things that have to be in order first. And once I know, like, okay, I'm ready to lay down the actual guitar track, that's when I'll change my guitar strings for that. And again, focusing on releasing singles right now, I think that's kind of the way to go. Not much... especially for me, where I'm at in my stage, my career right now. Sumo says, "My bad, dude." Nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm saying that for my sake. It does happen. A lot of people will request songs, and I feel bad. I'm like, sorry, I don't know them, but I'm just wondering if there's something I can do to kind of make it better, or better establish it. But yeah. I don't think there's a reason for me to record an album right now until I have enough people like saying like, "Hey, we want an album," But I think right now, I think singles are kind of all that I can manage and are the way to go. But if I were to release an EP or an album or something, then same thing. You could change your strings once, and you could record the guitar for all of those songs. You could do several songs while the strings are fresh. And then once you're done with that, then you have the recordings, and it might take you a while to get all those songs produced, but, you were able to record while they were fresh. Main point being is, I just change them, when I need them to be nice and fresh for a good recording. Chad says, I'm late. I was watching Lady C on Jade's show. That's awesome that she was a guest there. Hopefully I hope she was able to sing. She definitely known for having such a great voice. Chad's got a request for Weight of Tomorrow. I'm going to try that one. That might be tough. I'm dealing with a little bit of cold today, but Chad, I will try that just for you. Let's see here. Friday is Block Party, all women's show. Awesome. Yep, I'll try to tune into that. And that goes for anyone else here in the chat. I think it should be on Chad's channel. I don't know if it might be on the Conspiracy too. I think he and Clay team up. Clay goes by the username Conspiracy Music for anyone who doesn't know. And they do a block party. I guess, do you guys do a block party every Friday, or is it the last? I guess it's every Friday. Yeah, so awesome. So it sounds like the theme of this block party is going to be an all women's show. So so that'd be cool. Ray says, I would like to hear either Erase Myself or Guilty. All right, I can play one of those for you. Saturday is MJ show on my channel. All right, cool. Chad says Erase Myself is great. All right, well, I'll see if I can get that one played. And that's not when you like to change strings, guy. Yeah. I don't like to let anything go to waste. So, hey, we got For You Prod. Play Is It a Bug from For You. So once again, so just to get you up to speed, so we've got For You Prod watching on Twitch. You could pick the song. You should see the song list up above, but these are original songs. So whichever of those songs you'd like me to play, because I'm afraid I don't know Is It a Bug. Now, I do have a song called For You, but you wrote the number 4 and the letter U, which is, it sounds like that's some kind of artist or something. Chad says last Friday. Yeah, last Friday of the month is the block party. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Ray, I was like, I record something every day. I can't afford to. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. When I say record, I mean like with the intent to release a song. That's what I mean. Because you're right. Yeah, I record a lot too. But no, when I'm releasing an actual song, that's when I choose to change strings. Okay, so we got a few requests here. All right, I'm gonna try to play Weight of Tomorrow. Now, Chad, I can't remember if you've heard this one before or not, because I kind of have a feeling you may have requested this one before. But if not, this song is actually, this was a song that I wrote with my band back in the day. It was crazy to think that was almost like 10 years ago, but I did have a band with some friends, and we were a band called At War With Myself, and we wrote a few songs, played a few shows. It was a lot of fun. To be honest, we probably could have made something out of it, but we didn't really have a game plan. We just kind of, we were just doing it for fun, and I was sort of thinking like, if something comes out of it, cool. But if not, at least we can say I was in a band once. But I secretly wanted something to come out of it, and I've since learned that like if you want a career in music, you definitely have to make an effort towards it. You can't just like hope that something comes out of it. But it was fun. So this is a song that was originally from that band. Now, I am dealing with some cold, kind of some nasal stuff. I think I can do the song. So far, I've survived. But if it sounds a little rough, there's my my excuse. But here we go. This is Chad's request, the song "Weight of Tomorrow." Let me get my backing track set up. All right, here we go. Okay. This one does have quite a few harsh vocals in it. But interestingly, I think the harsh vocals are actually easier to do than like singing high notes. So I think we'll be okay. All right, here we go. This is The Weight of Tomorrow. This is for you, Chad.
Pressure is building and tearing me apart. I'm falling, collapsing. I can't believe that my foundation is breaking. I stand on weathered ground. I'm waiting and praying that hope can be found. Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You've had long enough. My foundation is breaking. Stand on weathered ground. I'm waiting and praying that hope can be found. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today, don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. No, it can't be this feeling. It's overwhelming me. It will not defeat me. This is not the end. Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You've had long enough. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today, don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today, don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow.
Thank you. That was The Weight of Tomorrow. That was requested by Chad. Chad, thanks for the request, and hopefully that was all right. It was it was challenging, but it wasn't too bad, but hopefully it sounded okay. Let's catch up with the chat, and then I'll play another song. I saw some other requests. This is also a Q&A, so if anyone has any questions, whatever you're curious about, or whatever topic you'd like to dive into, feel free to leave a question. I will say I'll probably play one or two more songs, and then I will have to put a wrap on this soon. But we'll go a little bit longer. All right, catching up. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the applause. Thank you for all the kind emojis. Appreciate it. Yep. You guys are too kind. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Let's see here. Yep, catching up with the chat. Okay. Ray was saying again at Chad might bow out on Friday's cast. So don't shoot my mouth off again. My wife talked about this tonight, and yes, she agrees. I should have just kept my mouth shut and said nothing. Maybe that's just for you guys to discuss, but no worries, man. It sounds like all right. Respect, man. Cool. Hey, we got Feisty in the chat, Feisty Feather. Hey, Quincy in chat. Appreciate you tuning in. If you we're doing a Q&A. If you've got a question, or a topic you'd like to dive into, go ahead and ask. And if you've got a song request, I know someone else had requested a song I think I'm going to do, but might have time to squeeze in a couple more. So, again, doing original songs, you can find them in the description, in the YouTube description. You can find a song list. And even if you haven't heard many of my songs, just whichever title sounds interesting, go ahead and pick it. Yeah, thank you, Adria. Appreciate that. Thanks, Feisty. Yeah, Feisty says this is great. Some hellos happening. Yep, Feisty says good request. Yep. So again, that was a song from my old band, and I'll have to check. I'll have to look for it and see if I can find it. But we did put out an EP, and we used to have. I'll do a quick search. 1 second. So now on the song, my friend actually did the harsh vocals. So if you, if I do have the original song, I'm going to try to find it. I did the clean vocals. I would do the singing, and then my friend would do the harsh vocals, the growls and the screaming and stuff. At war with myself. I think it's still on Bandcamp. I think it still exists. Wow. I think it does. Okay, cool. I'm going to post a link real quick. So, Chad, if you want, check this out. Here is a link. So that is goes to my old band's Bandcamp page. We had released an EP, and if you go on there, there's a recording of The Weight of Tomorrow and a few other songs on there. It was a 5-song EP, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm very proud of the songs that we were able to write. It was I don't know. Again, it was fun being in the band. We wrote some fun songs, and it was pretty cool. Now this is an older EP, so the quality might be a little rough, the recording quality. But if you're curious to, if you would like, a recording of that particular song, or you would like, just to check out some of the other songs that I did with that band, there's a link for you, and it should be free, so you can just kind of, you can just kind of download it for free and stuff. And there may be videos on YouTube, but if you, you could try looking it up, At War With Myself on YouTube, and look up the song titles, and they might be on YouTube. I can't remember if they are or not. All right, let's see. Some hellos happening. Sweet. Always enjoy your show when I can catch it. Thanks, Feisty. Well, I appreciate it whenever you can catch it. I'm always glad to see you tuning in, and definitely like seeing a lot of activity happening in the chat. Definitely makes it fun. Ray says, "LOL, my one and only EP just went out on DistroKid last night." Well, awesome, man. I'll be sure to check that out. Probably won't see much for about a week though. That can be how it goes. But Ray, I'll definitely try to check that out. I don't know if you've posted that on the community Facebook and stuff, but I'll be sure to look into that. All right, awesome. Well, I saw a few other requests, so I'm going to play another song. I'm going to try to squeeze in a few, just because I don't want to keep this going too late. But I want to play a few songs for you guys. Let's see here. I saw a couple. All right, let's see, there's Erase Myself. Okay, so Ray had requested Erase Myself, and then Chad, had commented that Erase Myself is great, so I appreciate that, so I would like to do that one for you. And then he also requested Guilty. Guilty is another old song of mine, so, I can do it for you. But again, it's earlier in the stream, I played a song called Let's Start Again, and this... because, I've been doing music for a little while, but it's taken me a while to kind of figure out what exactly I want to do with music, what style. Back then, I just recorded what I felt like. I didn't have a game plan. It was just like whatever I was in the mood for, I'd record a song for it and then just put it out there. And so, I did a lot of different styles. I did like piano, pop rock kind of stuff. I did acoustic stuff. I did, metal. I did, alternative rock, pop punk, I did a bunch of different styles. And so Guilty definitely kind of falls under that kind of alternative rock. Now, to be honest, Guilty isn't too, I might have to tweak a few things, but it's not too far off from, from my current style. It's maybe a bit simpler than what I do now, but yeah, so maybe I might try to see if I can do those two. And yeah, if anyone else has got a suggestion. Catching up. Yeah, Ray says, kind of sucks though. It was a 3-day process to post 5 songs because I did not know the basic version of DistroKid is audio only. Okay, yeah. I can say, I'm sorry if there was something more that was supposed to go with the EP. But I've got the basic version of DistroKid. I've been super pleased with DistroKid. Now, again, I've only released EPs so far. I don't think I've done... Sorry, I've only done singles so far. I don't think I've done an EP or an album or anything with DistroKid. Which I do wonder if, with the basic version, can you release an EP? I can't remember if you can or not. Maybe it does. I think it's pretty normal, though, that it usually takes a little while to get all the songs on different, platforms and stuff. Like even me, when I upload a a single, it'll be a few days before it distributes. So, I think with a more premium version, like you can get more detailed, like you can actually schedule it to where it'll, all come out at once. But, me, like, I'm not at that stage yet. I'm just like, if it's out there and someone sees it before I've actually, announced it, like whatever, it's not really a big problem. But yeah, well, I do hope it's still congrats on the EP. That's still a big accomplishment, and I do hope it works. I was trying to upload the video versions. I guess you can. I don't know. Like I wish I could help you with that. I hadn't known about uploading videos to DistroKid. Usually when I shoot a video for a song or something, I'll just upload it to YouTube or in Facebook, and I'll make shorts and post that on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. Thank you, Chad. The EP was released on my YouTube channel a few weeks ago, but just released last night on DistroKid, although the YouTube version is all video versions. Interesting. So, yeah, I'll definitely be sure to check that out. All right, I'm going to see if I can play 2 more songs for you. I'm going to play Guilty. This one's for you, Ray. This was your request, and then I think I can squeeze in one more. If anyone has any questions or anything, just any topics you're curious to dive into, they can be music related, they can be something else. It's not just whatever you are curious about, whatever you'd like to discuss. We'll give it a shot. Okay, been a little while. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure this isn't drop C, so I don't think I need the capo for this one. I used to play in drop D for a lot of these older songs, and then I have since tuned to drop C, and so some of these older songs I have to use the capo. No, we should be all right. All right, give me a second. Just got to remember how to play it. right, there we go. It's been a little while since I've played this one. All right, we'll give it a shot. Been a little while since I played this one. Again, this is an older song. I released this, wow, kind of crazy to think I released this song originally almost 10 years ago. I think it was 2014. So this was kind of back, yeah, in my early days of just kind of learn. Like, I didn't even really know what I wanted to do, you know, still figuring things out and just kind of learning about recording and stuff. So, you know, every song I did, it was more like just a project to learn how to record more so than like, you know, trying to establish myself as an artist or anything like that. But so yeah, this one is for you, Ray. This is called Guilty. Hope you like it. I'm a dreamer, but you don't care, and so I'm standing beneath your dismal glare. You expect me to know every little thing. Well, I know you mean well, but this pressure's killing me. Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's over. You and I have reached our end, but all the memories remain. And I've tried to find her, someone else to hold on to, but I can't show affection, 'cause I still feel bound to you. Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Am I guilty? Yeah, yeah. Is it so wrong to want something for myself, but to speak my mind only drenches me with guilt? Go! Just leave! Stay away from me, 'cause I can't breathe. Am I selfish? Am I filthy? Am I selfish? Thank you. That was that one's called Guilty. That's an older song of mine, but that was requested by Ray. Hope you liked it. Let's catch up with the chat. I can say it's kind of funny singing that song, especially because right now I'm working on a new song and I'm trying to write the lyrics for it. So I'm kind of in that headspace right now. Like I'm thinking lyrics, writing words, and I definitely kind of have some criticisms for myself for the lyrics for that one. I can give myself a break because I wrote that a long time ago. But if I were to revisit that song, I would probably try to. I'd probably polish up the lyrics a little bit. Let's see here. Yep, catching up. Currently, yep. Okay, cool. Hey, we got Gary in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Gary. Hope you're doing well. I think I'm going to squeeze in one more song, but we are going to be putting a wrap on this soon. But if you have a question, we're doing a Q&A as well, so you can ask a song, and you can ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Anything you're curious about, any topic you'd like to dive into. Appreciate the emojis. Yep, peace sign from Frank. Thank you. Yep. Hey, you all. Yep, just catching up with the chat here. Yep. Some hellos. Hey, appreciate the fire. Yep. Feisty says, I'm about to disappear to record kids band. Be back if you are here. Feisty, I don't know if you're gone, but I appreciate you tuning by. If you get back, great. I am probably going to put a wrap on this myself soon. Getting a little late for me. I still got to get me some dinner, and but we'll see. Yep. Cool. Gary says, you nailed all the gaps where everything drops out except guitar, smooth work. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yep. Try to play as tight as I can with the backing track. But yeah, that's kind of an older song. I was going to say, so the lyrics of that, I remember why I wrote it. I remember what I wrote it about. I was kind of, at that age, kind of dealing with, feeling guilty for wanting something for myself, and kind of having to learn, that, there's a difference between wanting something out of selfishness, wanting something, in spite of what it means to anyone else, versus wanting something just because it's what you connect with, what resonates with you, what you're and that's all part of just growing up and learning. So I remember at that age, though, I was kind of having those first few kind of questions in my mindset where there were a few experiences in life where I felt like the thing I wanted was maybe looked down upon or something, or wasn't the norm or the norm, So I can comment that the structure of that song, to be honest, I'd probably tweak it. Like, I think that's a fair concept. I understand what I was trying to say, but I don't know if I was really articulating it, effectively at the age that I had written that. But basically, like, the first scenario was kind of like, me being a dreamer, me wanting something a little more than just, everyday life, rather than having to settle for just kind of a typical normal job, wanting to go for something that I was passionate about, but, sort of, for some reason feeling a little shameful, a little guilty for wanting something like that, even though there's not really any reason why to feel like that, but I just, had to grow up a little bit to kind of learn that. And then the second verse, in this particular song, as it is right now, the second verse actually goes into more like relationships, kind of like, talking about a relationship that didn't work out. I'm trying to remember how the words go. But basically a different, feeling guilty for a different reason, feeling guilty for having feelings for someone who doesn't like you back, essentially, I think is what the second verse was about, It's like, wanting to be with someone, they don't want you back, and it's just kind of, that frustration. And then the third verse just kind of acknowledges that. But the thing was, when I wrote lyrics younger, I kind of like, I would write about things, but I had a tendency to settle for like good enough. So and sometimes I would sing things that just sounded good but didn't really make sense. Like even the bridge, you know, where I say, go, just leave, stay away from me because I can't breathe. Like, I guess that makes sense, but it's not really, but not really, you know, you know, in context, it doesn't really make sense, you know. Sounds like, I mean, you know, I guess acknowledging like this kind of pressure from around me, but I think I could have set it up better, is what I'm saying. So like if I were to go back and write that, you know, if I were to like revisit that song, I would probably tweak some of the lyrics. I'd probably change the structure a little bit. And I don't even know if I would call it guilty or if I would find some other word or phrase, maybe something more visual to better describe what I was actually feeling. You know, I don't even know that guilty was the best word. You know, it's more like shame than guilt, to be honest. You know, it's more like, you know, being embarrassed about, you know, what you want, you know, rather than necessarily guilt, you know. So, but again, that was just kind of, but there you go, you know, that's some little insight into the lyrics there. But I think I'm going to try, Ray says, simply put, you just want what you want, and you can't feel bad for that. Being it good times, bad relationship, etc. It's what makes you, you. There's definitely part of that. I do believe in, you know, certain, being disciplined, you know. I don't think what you want is always good for you, but yes, I do. But you are right that I do think sometimes it's kind of like taste, you know. Like taste is just one of those things. Like you don't really have much control over it. It's just like, you know, I don't know why I like this taste and not that, you know, and more than just food taste, but even like, you know, your taste in music, your taste in movies, you know, why, you know, we as people, we're all designed kind of the way we are, and we're all sort of attracted to different things, drawn to different things. Certain things connect with us, and certain things just don't do it for us, you know, whatever that is. But you're right, you know, at kind of like at that age, it was just me kind of having to learn how to like, just, you know, learning how to better articulate what it was that I wanted, and not feel, you know, not feel bad for it. And again, and that, I hadn't really thought of that in a long time, so that's why if I were to revisit the song, I think I probably could better articulate it. But main point, you know, a lot of my older songs, a lot of times I had more of an idea, and but I don't know that I could always articulate it very well in the song, but that's just part of learning the craft and growing, you know. That's one thing I do feel like, you know, I certainly put more effort into my lyrics now, and I think I try to be just more intentional with every line, you know, rather than just kind of saying something like, oh, that kind of works, or that's sort of like in the ballpark of what I'm talking about. You know, I do try to make more of an effort to make sure each line is a bit more intentional. Yeah, Ray says, really touchy subject for me. Trying to think what ATM stands for. Sorry. But I'm becoming someone I don't like being. I never used to be as I am now, but I do not regret it. It's shaping me to be better than I am today. Well, you know, the choices we make, you know, shape us into who we become. And that is important, you know. I know, because I know when I was younger, I didn't really, you know, when I was younger, I probably didn't think much about like who I was. And then in my teen years, eventually I did start to think, who am I, and do I actually like who I am? And I actually went through a phase where I wasn't so sure that I liked who I was. But that's a big part of, learning discipline, learning to make choices that benefit you, healthy choices that shape you into somebody that it's like, yes, this is the kind of person I want to be. This is who I want to be. And, it takes some effort, but it definitely changes, you know, you and how you see yourself, you know. Yep. Chad says, we do like what we like, you know, no shame in it. And, yep, I think there's some some truth to that, you know, of just like, yeah, whatever you're kind of, you know, whatever just resonates with you. It's like, don't know why, but, you know, kind of does, you know, it's just sort of the way it is. And, Yep, I simply have to learn from today and remember who I used to be, and not let the world and the change me for the worse. And yes, yeah, I would agree with that. Because again, the scenarios that we face in life, and how we respond to that, the choices that we make in spite of that, that's what ends up shaping us into who we are. And a lot of, again, kind of looking back, a lot of the struggles and the challenges and the hurt, at the time something can really hurt, but later you see how, oh, I'm glad I went through that because it taught me perseverance. It taught me, or I realized like that wasn't actually something I needed. That was something that I thought I needed. And now that I've gone through that experience, I realized that I'm actually better off without that thing that didn't work out or whatever it was. And so it's kind of just learning to look back and learn from those experiences and to apply them to make better and wiser future choices. And those things kind of shape you and to becoming someone that you can, not be ashamed of, someone that you're like, yeah, I'm happy who I've become. I'm happy how this has shaped me. So Ray says, when I started streaming and doing music, I used to be so relaxed and just here to have fun. But the past year is changing me. I want to be the old guy I used to be, not the guy most of you know now. And I think so in that case, I can say for me, I always feel like I'm improving and growing. If you feel like you're relaxed and now that you're pressured, it's okay. That's fine, Ray. Because when you're going through a new experience, like maybe when you first started streaming, you didn't know what you were getting into, and maybe you just went into it with no expectations, so you were able to be relaxed. And now kind of doing it more, maybe you kind of see your peers and you think like, man, everyone else is like really good, and I need to up my quality, or I just need to be better, and you feel like this pressure to be better, this pressure that you didn't have before. And there's nothing wrong with kind of realizing like, wow, I've kind of let this, this thing. Before I used to kind of manage this a lot easier, and now I've kind of let this thing sort of take control. But the first step is awareness, the fact that you're kind of realizing that, the fact that you're realizing like, yeah, now I'm high strung, and I don't like that. But the way the world has become, it is changing me into what I am, and I don't like who I am. Well, here's what I'll say is, I personally believe that you are who you choose to be. And so, yeah, the world's going to be rough, but so what, the world, it's one of those things that's kind of too big for you to be able to have any significant change. Like now you can change, the change that you can make is with the people that you interact with, the person that you choose to be. The person you choose to be, that's going to have a big impact on the people you interact with on a day-to-day basis. And you can make big, significant changes in those people's lives. But as far as like the condition of the world, there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be hurt in the world. And I just don't think it's something worth stressing about. I think you just got to look at, first off, you got to look at the things that you can control, and you got to look at the things to be grateful for. That's the thing too. There's always going to be something. If you're always looking for the problems, if you're always looking for the things that aren't right, that the mistakes, the flaws, if you're always looking for that stuff, then you're always going to just kind of be beating down on yourself. You're always going to have a negative attitude. You're always going to be angry and bitter. But if you change your perspective and you start looking, you make a choice to start looking for the positive things in life, to start looking at the things to be grateful for. Man, I'm grateful that I can make music. I'm grateful that technology allows me to stream, to associate with people like you, that technology allows me to meet other musicians, other people who have a passion for music. That's such a great thing. That's such a cool thing. This community that we have where we can all be together and just, share this thing that we're all passionate about, this love for music. That's such a cool thing. And technology allows us to do that, Thankful that gear is simple enough. It's, you don't need much expensive equipment just to be able to plug in your guitar and be able to play, be able to live stream, be able to record, make music, being able to release an EP, that's awesome. That's great. And no matter what we do, whatever project we work on, there's always going to be, little fumbles along the way. But that's just part of learning. That's just part of life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, having a couple trip-ups here and there. You just kind of say, whoop, yep, that didn't work out, but I'm going to learn from that, and I'll just take that. I'm thankful I was able to learn from that and make something valuable out of it. Like the bad things that happen really aren't that bad when you can benefit from them, when you can take these things that seem to hurt you, seem to be against you, but you're able to use them and learn from them and better yourself and again, grow and make wiser decisions to begin with. And so a big part of that is just your perspective, the things that you focus on, the things that you allow into your life. You know, if you're looking at stuff that's stressing you out, maybe you should just stop looking at that stuff. You know, maybe there's no reason to keep up with that. You know, I don't know if you keep up with, like, you know, the news or what's going on, but or just even social media and stuff. But if it's stressing you out, then maybe you don't need it. Maybe you should just cut that stuff out and instead use that time to focus on something that that uplifts you and encourages you. So yeah, so hopefully that helps out. Guys, I'll tell you what, I'm going to play one more song for you. And then, yeah, and then I think I'm going to have to call a wrap on this. I'm going to go ahead and play Erase Myself. And, you know, that song's actually kind of appropriate on what we were talking about, because Erase Myself, what that means, it's a song about refinement. Erase myself and start again. And what that song talks about, if you look at the lyrics there, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. It's a song about refinement. It's a song about improvement, you know, self-improvement. And self-improvement isn't easy. You know, to do something worthwhile, to do something, you know, the stuff that is most fulfilling in life is also the stuff that you know, requires the most work and the most effort to obtain. You know, it's going to take work. It's not going to be easy, but once you do that, you're going to be better off because of it. It's going to strengthen you. It's going to, you know, improve your skill set or your mindset, you know, whatever it is. There's a lot of growth that comes from that. And so that's kind of what this song is about. Erase Myself is kind of chipping away those old parts, the parts that aren't that good, you know, the weak parts, kind of eliminating that stuff and then improving and growing and bettering yourself. So yeah, so I think this is gonna be the last song for the evening, and then I think I'm gonna put a wrap on this. But yeah, this one goes out to all of you, and yeah, this one's called Erase Myself.
Take me away and break me into pieces. Hit me with the truth and don't pull your punches. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. the refiner. It's time to change what used to define me. Resist the pain. I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I will brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Thank you. Had to modify the vocals a little bit. That's a tough one to sing, and again, getting over some colds. So, but hopefully it was okay. So, again, that one was called "Erase Myself," and that one goes out to you, Ray, and anyone else watching. I'm gonna catch up with the chat, and then I am gonna put a wrap on all of this. So just give me a moment here. 1 second. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, Brace says, that's what I need to keep in mind. Getting fired from 2 jobs with no reason at all did happen for a reason. Life is just trying to teach me, and I need to be a good grasshopper and learn from it, because now is my time to be the student so I can become the teacher, sensei. In the meantime, teach what I do already know and learn to teach more. And the thing is, there's always something more to learn. The one thing I've learned is that there's always more to learn. And so, yeah, never think that you've got it all figured out, because there's always something else to learn. There's always new ways to grow. And yeah, you know, I know that stuff's challenging, but again, you'll get through it. You'll overcome it, and you'll be better because of it. Thank you, Frank. Frank says, well said. I appreciate that. Great show. Yep, thank you for the emojis. Yep, thank you, everyone. It was great. Thank you, Adria. Daniel says, yeah, the high scream would have probably been too much on your voice. Yeah, I was tempted to try it, but even with my normal voice, that high note, you know, face, you know, that's a tough one to hit. So I was like, yeah, let's not try it, you know. I didn't want to, like, lose my voice in the process of trying to hit that. But yeah, hey, everyone, I appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you did enjoy the stream. For anyone watching now or on the replay, 1 second. Sorry, had some air coming through. Anyone watching now or on the replay, I appreciate you tuning in. If you'd like to support me, I'm going to try something a little different. I'm actually going to post a gift shop. So I'm posting a link now called the Gift Shop. And what this is, this link
eventually I will have merchandise here. As of right now, I don't have it. But if you go to this, you'll find my store. And there's a bunch of stuff there. There are ways for you to, if you'd like to support me, there are ways that you can support me. If you want to check out more of my music, you can find my music there. You can, if you'd like to join the club, sign up for the email list so that I can keep you notified about, new song releases, whenever I'm going live, all that stuff. You can sign up for my email list. And there's a few other little fun little things to interact there. So check out the gift shop, see what's there. Again, it might go through some changes, and eventually I'm going to have merchandise added there. But as of right now, swing on by and just check it out and kind of explore all the different things that are offered there. Ray says, always a great cast. Well, thanks, Ray. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I always appreciate you tuning in. And I appreciate all of you tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.